Today, we are going to explore SCP-993 Bobble the Clown. Now we're going to do this first by watching TheVolgun explain the SCP, then we're going to watch an animation of the SCP. And if you only want to watch the animation, the timestamp is down below.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-993.
Jesus Christ.
Object class, safe.
It looks crazy.
Special containment procedures. Any broadcasts of SCP-993 are to be intercepted as detailed in Protocol Upsilon Beta 3 and blocked from public viewing. All intercepted broadcasts are to be recorded and stored for future viewing. Any subjects used to view SCP-993 must be under the age of 10 and are to be dosed with a Class A amnesiac after they have described the episode.
Oh God.
Viewing of SCP-993 must be authorized by 3 Level 4 personnel.
Drugging children then?
Description: SCP-993 is a children's television program entitled Bobble the Clown, which first began airing in SCP-993 seems to have been made in the style of an educational cartoon, with the primary plot of most episodes being the titular character, Bobble the Clown, learning a new skill or activity. The program appears to have no supporting cast, and the setting of the program often changes between episodes. SCP-993's anomalous properties become obvious when the program is viewed. Anyone watching aged 10 years or older will immediately fall unconscious when the program begins and will remain incapacitated until the end of the program, later reporting a stabbing headache immediately before blacking out. Children under the age of 10 viewing SCP-993 later report that it teaches and advocates activities such as cannibalism, torture, and these activities appear to become ingrained in the subject's mind. Repeated exposure to SCP-993 can result in permanent psychotic and schizophrenic symptoms. Episodes of SCP-993 are regularly broadcast from a currently unknown source, but since 2000, all broadcasts have been successfully intercepted using Protocol Upsilon Beta 3 and blocked from public viewing. Episode log. Episode title: Bobble's Kitchen Surprise. Setting of episode is a stereotypical small American town. In the episode, Bobble the Clown appears to kidnap one of the town's citizens and takes him to his home. Once there, Bobble the Clown informs the viewer on how to prepare human flesh for consumption, then proceeds to skin, gut, and cook the citizen. Episode title: Bobble in the Big City. Setting of the episode is a large American city, possibly New York. In the episode, Bobble the Clown instructs viewers on methods of lighting fires undetected, using resources such as mosquito coils. At the end of the episode, Bobble the Clown sets fire to a large building and leaves. The picture stays on the burning building for a further 3 minutes before the episode ends. Screams are audible during this time. Episode title: Bobble's Sneaky Saturday. Setting of the episode appears to be in London, as the Elizabeth Tower housing Big Ben is visible. In the episode, Bobble the Clown silently stalks a woman for most of the episode. When she arrives at her home, Bobble the Clown attacks and kills her with a large butcher's knife. At the end of the episode, Bobble the Clown details methods of remaining unseen in crowded places. Episode title: Bobble Gets the Truth. Setting of the episode appears to be a prisoner of war camp. In the episode, Bobble the Clown tortures a captured soldier, repeatedly asking him nonsensical questions. The soldier eventually appears to die of his wounds. Bobble the Clown then details to the viewer how to inflict painful but non-lethal injuries. Episode title: Bobble Hates You. Setting of the episode appears to be a blank room. Bobble the Clown sits on a chair in the room, staring angrily at the viewer for the full 30 minutes of the episode. Episode title: You. Setting of the episode appears to be Site's video archive, where recordings of SCP-993 are stored. In the episode, Bobble the Clown angrily details methods of breaching containment for several SCPs. Bobble then details methods to murder researchers involved in its containment, showing detailed knowledge of their daily routines and habits. Notably, what appears to be an animated version of Dr. walks past Bobble halfway through the episode. A clock on the wall shows the time as p.m. Dr. confirms that he was walking past SCP-993's archive at the time.
Oh, so he knows.
The following is an audio recording of a Bobble the Clown episode entitled Bobble's Back. Playing log now.
Well, that's sketchy.
Hello there. No, don't get up. Put the gun down, though. It won't do anything. I'm not real. How could you shoot me? There we go. See? Isn't that much nicer? All friends. Face the window, please. Oh, and smile. There. That's good. You look surprised, Doctor. You've been on a binge of me, haven't you? I like your style. You fall down and then you just get back up. Shame, though. That's what let me in. Nice couch. Don't get up. I'll make myself at home. What are you talking about, Doctor? Oh, no. I've not come here as some sort of vengeful retribution. I really don't mind you people watching me. Although, I do wish you'd share them. You're very selfish, taking me away from the children like that, you know? I admit I did lose my temper for a bit back there, didn't I? Don't worry, I've come to terms with my new audience. You do let me at children quite often. Some people will call you monsters. Not me. I don't judge. I'm fair. What are you writing? I'm very sorry, Doctor, but this isn't an interview. I put it in the trash. There we go. Everything goes in the trash eventually. You trash your precious interview, the children trash their little minds, and even I had to trash some of my other gimmicks. Oh yes, I've been making little savages for quite a while now, Doctor.
Ooh, I wonder how long it's
Down
been
the
around.
gun. I think it started off small. The idea of fire some stupid cavemen got in their skulls. Children didn't really have time for me back then, so I moved on. The skinwalker stick, though, that was a good idea. Children whispered about me in the dark. Adults even painted me. I hardly had to do anything at all.
Yeah, well, for a long time now.
But then you had to get clever, didn't you? Suddenly, all those superstitions started to float away, and I had no children to help. No parents to be... Well, you'll find out soon enough. And yet, there was one little form that I had left. One fun-loving character that I could still reach inside those kids' heads and twist. I'm talking, of course, about Bobble the Clown. Oh, don't look so glum. Smile. You're on television.
That is wildly creepy, dude.
End log.
Jeez.
As of 2000, it appears SCP-993 has ceased broadcasting. As of 20, SCP-993 has resumed its normal broadcasting. Reclassification to Euclid is being considered. Episode title, Bobble's Back. Setting of episode appears to be in Dr. office. Bobble appears to be in the room, and Dr. registers shock, then faces the viewer and smiles. Bobble and Dr. then appear to converse for 15 minutes, although no dialogue is audible. 15 minutes in, Dr. raises a pistol and fires upon Bobble to no effect. Bobble then systematically dismembers and removes facial extremities from Dr. using a large butcher's knife. Signs of movement are visible from Dr. for 3 minutes, after which the credits roll. Alarmingly, Dr. disappeared without a trace a day before the episode broadcasted.
Oh! What? So he actually used him in some manner. Honestly, in the beginning, when they started explaining a little bit about Bobble, how to blend in without getting noticed in the crowd, stuff like that, I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. I would watch that. I wouldn't watch the butchering and the cannibalism and the murder and torture and the rest of the bad stuff. But I would watch that one though, because that would be kind of cool. But then it slowly progressed and it became worse and worse and worse. If we go a little bit back, he's been around since like cave paintings. What is that, 50,000 years or something like that? Something crazy. I don't know if I want to call him like a nature entity, but he's an entity that's been around for a long ass time. And I don't know if he's always been like evil, but at least it seems that with time, at least, he is doing it. Or at least now in the future, he is doing it. It also seems like this persona that he's putting on, the Bobble the Clown, is also new. Oh, and I would also like to mention, dude, great voice acting by TheVolgun again. As someone who has no talent and have tried many things, I can tell you that's pretty decent. Now, let's jump over to Dr.Bob and take a little bit of a peek on an animation of this clown.
A 7-year-old girl and her 13-year-old brother are settling in for their favorite after-school activity, watching TV. The children's parents won't be home from work for several hours, and watching the after-school programming together before making a snack is a staple of their day. The boy takes his normal position on the couch as the girl plants herself right in front of the television and turns it on. This is the time when Pretty Pony Paradise comes on, and she never misses an episode. Her brother would prefer something else, but he also loves to see his sister happy, so he always lets her watch the ponies have their adventures. Today, though, when she turns to the right channel, there's something else. Instead of the usual Pretty Pony theme song, circus music comes out of the television speakers. The girl watches as the brightly colored words, "Bobble the Clown," appear on the screen. "Hey, this isn't Pretty Ponies," she says to her brother, but when she looks back, he's asleep. The girl isn't happy, but she decides to give this new show a chance. And maybe her pony show will come on after anyway. The circus music stops, and a happy-looking clown cartwheels onto the screen.
"Hello, kids,"
the garish clown says.
"Do you like fun?"
The girl did like fun. Perhaps this new show wouldn't be so bad. She watches as Bobble walks down the street of an average, happy American small town. Everyone seems to love the happy clown, waving at him as he passes by. Bobble pauses in front of a house where a man is mowing the lawn. He convinces the man to stop his yard work and join him, and the two happily head down the sidewalk together. The girl is a little confused by this show. There's not much in the way of jokes, but she decides to keep watching anyway. Bobble and his new friend stop in front of a house that is painted to resemble a circus tent. This must be where Bobble lives. He invites the man in, and they both enter the house. Inside, Bobble motions for the man to sit while he prepares some refreshments. The girl watches as Bobble moves to the kitchen. There, he begins sharpening knives as he explains directly to the camera the best way to prepare meat, the way the skin must carefully be removed from the flesh, and how the bones should be saved for future soup stocks. The girl watches with fascination as Bobble teaches his special lesson. Maybe this is a good show after all. Maybe this is her new favorite show. The girl gets up, her brother still asleep, and heads to the kitchen. She pulls out a drawer to help her reach the counter where the knife block is located, and pulls out the meat cleaver. She looks at it gleaming in the light, entranced by its sharp, shiny edge. The girl returns to the living room and gets up onto the couch next to her sleeping brother. She watches as Bobble steps away from his pot of red, boiling meat and looks right into the camera. The girl stands up and holds up the meat cleaver. Bobble walks towards the camera with fascination in his eyes, as if he can see through the screen, and is watching the girl. She slowly raises the knife above her head as Bobble starts whispering, "Come on, do it," licking his lips in anticipation. The girl pauses for a second, looks at her sleeping brother one more time, and brings the cleaver.
That's fucked!
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob, and this is SCP-993, also known as Bobble the Clown. But first, there's something I need from you. I need your help to spread the word about some of the lesser-known anomalies in the SCP Foundation's archives. And the best way you can help is to subscribe, turn on notifications, and then go tell your friends to do the same. This will help me bring you more and more SCP videos. Now, back to our file. SCP-993 is the designation the SCP Foundation has given to a children's television program entitled Bobble the Clown. At first glance, the Bobble the Clown show appears to be a standard children's educational cartoon, with bright colors, a mascot, and a rote formula that involves the titular character of Bobble the Clown learning a new skill or engaging in a new activity. The program appears to have no recurring supporting cast, with Bobble being the only character who returns to each episode. The settings usually change between episodes as well, with Bobble often being seen in a new or unique location. Despite appearing as a show made for children, the anomalous properties exhibited by this strange television program make themselves apparent almost immediately. First, anyone older than the age of 10 who watches the show will immediately fall unconscious as soon as it begins, and will remain in a comatose state until the program ends. Upon waking, they will report having felt a painful, stabbing headache just prior to falling unconscious. The show's most disturbing property, though, is what has been described by those under the age of 10 who are able to view the program. They report seeing Bobble the Clown teach lessons similar to the way many children's shows extol the virtues of good hygiene or going to bed on time. But with Bobble, the lessons are quite different.
Way darker.
Topics that Bobble has presented lessons on and encouraged children to try have included torture, murder, and even cannibalism. As the subject watches, the lessons appear to become ingrained in their minds, and repeated exposure to the show has resulted in permanent effects that resemble symptoms of psychosis and schizophrenia. Documented episodes of Bobble the Clown have included Bobble in the Big City, in which Bobble appears in a large United States city reminiscent of New York, and instructs the viewer on various ways to avoid detection when lighting fires with common resources like mosquito coils. The episode ends with Bobble setting fire to a large building before he exits the screen. The camera continues to stay locked on the burning building for several more minutes as the sound of screams can be heard. In another titled Bobble's Sneaky Saturday, Bobble is again in a major city, this time one that looks similar to London, England, with the Elizabeth Tower containing Big Ben visible in the background. In this episode, Bobble is shown to be quietly following a woman as she walks into her home. Once she arrives, Bobble attacks her with a large butcher knife, before giving the audience tips on how to remain unnoticed in crowded places. Bobble Gets the Truth finds the clown in a prisoner of war camp, where Bobble is shown torturing a captured soldier as he asks him nonsensical questions that the soldier cannot possibly answer. This continues until the prisoner dies, after which Bobble details methods for inflicting painful but non-lethal injuries. Bobble Hates You is one of the most unnerving of the documented episodes, and consists of Bobble sitting alone in a blank room, silently and angrily staring at the viewer for a full 30 minutes. But the strangest of all is from an episode title filled with expletives, in which Bobble appears to be in a Foundation secure site video archive room, the same one where recordings of Bobble the Clown are stored.
Oh, God.
In this episode, a rage-filled Bobble describes methods for breaching several SCP's containment. He then gives personal details about the researchers assigned to these SCPs, including their daily routines, before offering several potential ways to murder them. An interesting detail about this episode: at one point, an animated depiction of a particular SCP Foundation researcher is seen to walk past Bobble. A clock on the wall shows the time, and this same researcher later confirmed that they did, in fact, walk through the video archive at this exact time, but had no recollection of seeing an animated clown filming a television program in the room when they did so. Episodes of Bobble the Clown continue to be broadcast from an unknown source, but future episodes are to be intercepted using Protocol Upsilon Beta 3 to prevent them from being seen by the public. All broadcasts are recorded for the Foundation's archives, and in order to perform research on the anomaly, subjects under the age of 10 must be used to view them. Once the viewers have described what takes place in the episode, they are then to immediately be administered Class A amnestics. Despite the danger these episodes pose to those who view them, since they are able to be reliably blocked from public broadcast, SCP-993 has been classified as safe, and for now, Bobble the Clown appears to be contained as well as it can be. Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob.
Dude, that showcased the SCP so well. Yeah, one of the things that I thought was a little bit strange is why is it classified as safe? What if Bobble the Clown figures out another way to broadcast it? Right? Because it's clear he used to do it on like wall paintings or something. Surely he could transform the medium itself for which he propagate. So I'm guessing that the thought is like he's currently safe. I think that's what they're thinking. Like, yeah, he's not changing up the signals or the medium of which he's sending out these things, right? As we saw on the TheVolgun's reading, they were considering it as a Euclid, which I think would be appropriate. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the feedback on my last video. That was really, really great. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.